Hello, today we are going to make corn tortillas. Our goal is to not eat processed food, to eat what we make what we eat. So I'm going to start this with masa harina golden corn flour. And then with it, I'm just going to put water. So that is going to be the extent of what's in this, corn flour and water. So about 2 cups of the corn flour and about 1.5 cups to 2.5 cups of water. You'll just have to feel it to see how it feels, about like Play-Doh. You can just mix it up until it gets to about that consistency, and then when we're done mixing it, we'll knead it on the counter like it's Play-Doh. So I mix this together, and I'm going to dump it out on the counter here and knead it so it's good and pliable. So when you mix the corn flour and the water needs to be quite hot. You can boil the water. I don't use water that's quite boiling, but it's quite hot. You don't want to put your finger in the water. It should be too hot to put your finger in the water. So I'm going to just now knead the dough. So we've kneaded it until it was well mixed. It hasn't been 10 minutes, but I've kneaded it until it's good and pliable like Play-Doh. And then I'm going to wrap it in this plastic wrap and let it sit for about 10 minutes and let it rest. It's done resting, and now we're going to cut it into chunks and roll it into about golf ball sized balls. So I'm going to try and get about 20 tortillas out of this batch. It worked out pretty well for me last time, so I'm not thinking that it's going to be too hard to do that again. Okay, I have all my balls all rolled for the shells, and I'm just going to keep them under the plastic while I'm making them, so they don't get all dried out. And I'm going to put a towel under my tortilla press so that it doesn't scratch my countertop all up. I'm going to put a cut plastic, heavy plastic bag on the bottom and then on top so that it doesn't stick to the press. It'll make it easier to get it off and then onto the pan.
So instead of using grease?
Yeah, I try not to use oil for anything that I don't have to use it for. Try and come up with other ways of doing it. So turn this on and let it heat good, and see if I can get a piece of parchment paper to put my smashed tortillas on. Oops. So put one on the bottom, one on the top of it, and then this is the greatest little thing. I tried to roll these with a rolling pin, and I tried also to make it flat with a heavy pan and my weight, and it just didn't work. I find the absolute best way to do it. It makes them flat without the edges being all cracked and torn up. So you can use the whole tortilla instead of just the middle. This is a wondrous machine. I love it. So I just put this one on, and it's been cooking for probably not even a minute. And I'll flip it and cook it for, you know, when it starts steaming up, kind of like a pancake. You know when to flip it when it starts steaming a little bit, and that's kind of how I go about this. You kind of get a feel for what works for you and how you like them done. So I would think that about a minute on each side is probably where I'm at right now with them. And then they look about like that. They're so yummy. They taste so different than a store-bought tortilla. It's just so good. Just like everything else, if you just make it from scratch, it's so much better than the processed chemicals that they put in food that they over-process. So it's just a wonderful way to eat.
While Candace finishes making the taco shells, I will cut the whole ingredients for our vegan tacos. That's pretty much what we're having on them besides beans and rice. So between the two of us, we're going to share 1/2 of a medium avocado. That's going to be for about 5 tacos each. I'll eat 1 whole small tomato to myself. Candace doesn't like a tomato. We got 1 medium-sized jalapeno pepper to share, 3 green onions chopped, and 1 shallot split. Just about done making shells. This is what our beans and rice look like. We got a 1/2 cup for each of us of rice and beans mixed, so 1 cup total for 5 tacos. We ran out of black beans, so we're using garbanzo beans, and they are just as tasty as any.
We have all the tortillas we're going to need for dinner, so I'm going to cut some of these raw tortilla shells into strips and then put them in the oven, and then we'll have Fritos. So we'll see how that turns out. We haven't done it before, so. Fritos. Okay, our tacos are done, and they look so yummy, and I can't wait to eat them. I hope you join us next time we have a good cooking adventure. Thanks. So our chips are done, that we made out of corn flour, and they are so good. You gotta try these. Way better than store-bought chips. There's no salt in them, no anything except for corn flour and water.
They are yummy.
They are super yummy.
Thank you.
Bye.